What's going on, you guys? What's going on with boxing? Episode 4. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Who's the A side? Who wins the fight? Hit that like button as you come on in. I should have readjusted my mic. Hold on 1 second, guys. There we go. Shit, man. All right, I'm back. My bad, you guys. Hold up. Let me get on the camera real quick. Boom. There we go. Yeah. So, who gonna win this fight? We gonna talk about it. What's going on, everybody in the building? Martin Machine, what's good? Haitian Hurricane, Wayne Hennessy, Baby Juju, what's good? You said the fight's not happening. Cap, wow. Why is this fight not happening? And so we gonna talk about it because there's a lot of things that could prevent this fight from happening. Who's the A side and all this shit, right? Who's gonna be getting a bigger split? These are real legitimate questions when we talk about this fight between Ryan Garcia and Javante Tank Davis. Salute to D Luckett and salute to WJ Luckett for the cash app earlier. Yeah. YouTube been tripping, bro. I know it ain't 3 people up in this motherfucker. There's more people in the comment section. But yeah, hold up. We gonna do this call-in thing too, man. If you guys want to call in, I'm see how this works. This is gonna be a trial run, but we gonna see how it works in a little bit. When we get some more people in here, and get you guys' thoughts. You don't want to be on the stream yard, do none of that shit. You just call in real quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Garcia said he's not coming down to 140, 135. You pulling these guys up, man. And with Ryan Garcia, he's not. What is he going to be doing? Who is he going to be fighting? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not going to, all right, after Tank, then what? You know, after Tank Davis, then what? Because he seems hell bent on Tank, but he said he don't care about belts or anything else either. He said he had a spirit of competition in him, and you're gonna see that come out when he fights Tank. You're gonna see that come out of him when he fights Tank. He's trying to cash out already. It looks like. And a lot of people got mad in my live stream because I was kind of hating on Ryan. You know what I'm saying? But if he wasn't, look, he's a 23-year-old guy, young as hell in the sport. If he had to just shut up, I wouldn't have been as critical. But since he was talking so much shit, I expected him to get that version of Fortuna out of there in 2 or 3 rounds. You know, but he looked better in the fight than he did in his last fight against Emmanuel to go. But a lot of people seem to believe that Ryan could beat Tank too. I'll be looking at the comments. A lot of people think that Tank Davis is going to lose against Ryan. There's going to be a lot of talks once this thing happens. Once this thing happens between these 2 guys. I don't know. For me with Ryan, I think Tank Davis is gonna win the fight, but I don't think hold up. I don't think he go. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen 100%. Now Ryan Garcia, he may want the fight. Don't really care about taking the lower cut. However, his handlers may feel a little different. And when we talking about who's the A side for this fight, who's really the A side for this fight? Ryan Garcia got a shit ton of followers on social media. Tank Davis got a pretty good number on social media followers as well. However, Tank Davis, in the same venue, sold more seats, right? We don't talk these numbers. Here you go right here. Golden Boy announces attendance of 11,288 for Garcia Fortuna at the Crypto Arena in Los Angeles. Javante Davis poured in 15,580 fans for his fight against Isaac Cruz in December in the same venue. In December. So yeah, it's safe to say that Tank Davis is the A side in this fight. Not to mention, he's the proven pay-per-view draw. Now you're gonna be seeing a lot of people coming out saying that Ryan's the A side in this fight. In reality, he's not. It's because he has more social media followers that necessarily don't translate into pay-per-view buys, right? It just doesn't translate. So Ryan Garcia, he's unproven in the box office, and like LT likes to say, he's unproven in the box office, right? And Tank Davis, is he proven in the box office? More than Ryan Garcia is. He fought on pay-per-view a couple of times, so Ryan Garcia hasn't. But Oscar De La Hoya insists that this is a 50-50 fight. Do I believe it's a 50-50 fight? No. Ryan Garcia brings a lot to the fight, but so does Tank. Tank Davis fought a virtually unknown Isaac Cruz and still did 15,000, right? So yeah, it's safe to say that Tank is the A side in this fight. But now, who wins the fight? Who knows? Ryan Garcia, he hasn't really been in there with anybody that can move like Tank Davis. He hasn't been in there with anybody that can move like Tank. Nobody. Everybody he's fought for the most part is been kind of right in front of him. 2 left feet, shit like that. See this guy in this comment here. He says he needs to stop closing his eyes when he punches. Right. If you look here at this photo, Tank Davis' eyes is wide open when he threw that sneaky left hand on Rolly. Wide open. Ryan Garcia's eyes is wide closed. Wide fucking closed. So yeah, he needs Ryan Garcia. For what he does well, there's also a negative too. For what he does well in the sport, in the ring and shit, he does some bad shit too that kind of negates that. He said Canelo will go to the fight and root for Davis. Yeah. Yep. Canelo's going to be rooting for Tank, man. Because Ryan Garcia made a lot of enemies, in my opinion, amongst his peers, some of his peers, especially guys he used to be in allegiance with, like Canelo Alvarez. Oh, yeah. Hey, AJ, you know what I noticed? A lot of these guys, it seemed like once Devin got the belts, everybody started going up to 140. Everybody, Rolly talking about skipping 140 altogether. Ryan Garcia said he ain't coming back down. Teofimo Lopez already got the heck up out of Dodge. So, yeah, a lot of these dudes are starting to disperse from 135 pounds once Devin Haney got all those belts. It's kind of funny. But, yeah, he's not fighting below 140, so who's he going to fight at 140? I would like to see Ryan get in there. Somebody like Montana Love. Will that fight ever happen? Absolutely not. He's a horrible matchup for him. Good feet, good boxing ability, and he can punch. He's not going to get in there with that guy. So he's going to look to pull up smaller men, Javier Fortuna, prior to him fighting at 140 for the first time. Maybe it was the second. I don't know. But prior to that, he was fighting down at what? I believe 130. 2 fights before, he was at 135. He wasn't even at a lightweight that long, Javier Fortuna, before Ryan Garcia pulled him up to 140. So, I mean, fans giving Ryan Garcia a shit ton of credit for beating Fortuna, but they wouldn't even they barely wanted to give Tank credit for beating Gamboa. Would they have given Tank credit if he beat Fortuna? This same Fortuna we just saw. Nah, they wouldn't, bro. They wouldn't give Tank credit for beating Fortuna. They didn't give Tank credit for beating Gamboa either. And Gamboa is a better fighter, despite Gamboa not being a shell of his former self, right? He's a gold medal. He was a bad dude at one point. You know what I'm saying? Back before he ran to Bud Crawford. He was a bad dude. Was Fortuna ever like, nah, he really wasn't, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not to take nothing away from Fortuna, he's a dog, but I think he's seen better days in the sport of boxing. So Ryan Garcia did what he was supposed to do. He did what he was supposed to do against the guy that he was supposed to beat. He's not fighting nobody below 140. He ain't gonna do none of that. So wait till some more people get in here. Yeah, YouTube been tripping. What about Rolly calling out Errol Spence, man? Rolly called out the big fish and shit. You know, he called out the big fish. He was talking shit. He said some things I didn't even know he said. Hold up. Let's see. Damn. That's what Rolly said about Errol Spence Jr. For those who don't know, if you don't know, now you know. Well, Romero was lit the other night, and he called out Errol the Big Fish Spence Jr. I mean, nobody's taking it seriously, right? It's a joke. It's kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence responded by saying, you know, somebody take this motherfucker phone, basically. You know, he was laughing and shit. But it's funny, though. I seen somebody mention that Errol Spence responded to this dude quicker than he ever responded to Terrence Crawford. I'm like, yeah, he did. That's true. He did. He definitely did. He's responded real quick to Rolly. It was 5 in the morning when that tweet got pushed out. You know what I'm saying? But we was asking for this dude to to say something to Bud. Bud and them trash smash you out here. He wouldn't say nothing and shit, but it is what it is, man. Yeah, a lot of these dudes, a lot of these lightweights, AJ, now that they got to deal with Devin Haney if they ever want to become a champion, this is what they're going to do. They're going to disperse, try to cloud chase off other fighters' names, try to pull up smaller men to 140, and really avoid 140 altogether. Because none of them big enough for 147 yet. But 140, yeah, they can fit in there just fine. However, there's a lot of killers in that weight class. They don't want no smoke with those dudes at 140. The Pro Grays, the Barboza Juniors, there's all kinds of motherfuckers in that weight class. They don't want no part of them dudes in those top 10. They don't want no part of them. So they go come up in the division and use that weight class to bring up smaller men to make money and beat up on fucking dudes they know they go beat up on to keep this gravy train going. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. Hold on, let me put this up. Yeah, let's see how this works. You guys want to call in? There's the number right there. I'll get you guys' thoughts on this. I'm gonna trial run, test this thing out. Test this thing out real quick. Yeah. So you guys should be able to call that number right there if you want to call in. Let me see how this thing works. I need to find a better um, app or program that shows the number and shit, the area code of the number that's calling. I don't necessarily know how that works yet. What's going on, Jose Diaz? I see you in the building. Y'all hit that like button for your boy, man. Let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up. But yeah, man, who wins the fight? Rolly and Tank. I mean, not Rolly and Tank, but Ryan and Tank. Well, all the guys that be in the comment section rooting for Ryan. That's what I was kind of hoping for. They was gonna show up today. Because I'm a little bit biased when it comes to this fight. I ain't gonna lie to you. As of right now, I'm a little biased. You know, I'm a little biased right now when it comes to this matchup. A little bit biased. I don't. I see Ryan Garcia has some good things he does. You know, he whips his shots. Um, you know, he's a whipper. You know, his punches he whips. He stands straight up though. You know, he kind of telegraphs his shot. He poses a lot too. He be taking pictures. And when he was doing that lead right, he was kind of leaning forward and he was kind of like almost like posing. If he was in there with a guy that had a good IQ, um, he would have got his ass whooped. He did a lot of everything he threw was hard. Everything was hard. Everything was the same speed. He get up in there with a guy who can get that timing down, who has a good fight IQ, who knows that he's not going to change up the speed of his shots. They go beat his head in. They go beat his head in. But we gotta see. They gotta get to the negotiation table, get this thing cracking. You know, Golden Boy, Oscar, Ryan seems to be they're very vocal about this fight. You know, yeah, everything he does throw is hard, Jose. Everything he throws is hard. Everything is the same speed. Everything is hard as hell, and it is dangerous. However, a guy with a good fight IQ with a lot of experience that knows this will be prepared for that, and they'll capitalize on it. Because Ryan Hean's not going to change up the speed of his jab. It's none of that. Everything's going to be the same speed. If he misses, it's going to be bad. You know, if he was in there with a guy, now Ryan Garcia, he's fast up top. He got quick hands, but he's not necessarily fast overall. His feet are slow. If he's in there with a dude that has some good feet, with some good punches, that has some heavy hands, he'll be in trouble. He'll be in trouble. If you want to call in, the number is 213-474-7140. Enter the pin 6965. Yeah, this dude, he hasn't been in there with nobody with lateral movement. Tank Davis has that. Tank Davis is a guy that actually can move and can punch. You said Tank ain't worried about that boy. It should make Ryan nervous. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't think Ryan's gonna be in boxing too long. I think he's gonna fight Tank Davis because there's really nobody else that he seems too interested in. He's gonna fight Tank Davis and he'll get the fuck up out of there. Be on some TV shows, get into some acting, do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He's not about to be out here becoming an all-time great fighter, fighting all the top competition. You said, how about Rolly versus Ryan? I got Rolly beating Ryan. I seen Rolly whooping on Ryan in the sparring that they had, beating the shit out of him. Just Ryan couldn't do nothing with him. Just couldn't do nothing with him. Rolly didn't care about nothing he was doing. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Rolly didn't care about nothing Ryan was doing in that sparring session they had. Nothing. Yeah, he didn't do nothing against him. So I got Rolly beating Ryan Garcia, bro. I'm telling you, Ryan ain't about to fight nobody. Even though Rolly ain't got no feet, he can punch. He can punch. Ryan's right there to be hit. He's not like Tank Davis, who's going to be moving around the ring. You said Ryan will stop Rolly. Nah, he won't, bro. Based off of what? Based off of what? Because Rolando Romero did good against Tank. If you ask the right person, he did good against Tank Davis. He said Rolly is too sloppy and undisciplined. He lasted 6 rounds with Tank. I think Rolly is a better win than Fortuna is. Come on, man. Fortuna was shot, bro. call a spade a spade. For Rolly's a fresh young fighter, hungry young fighter. Fortuna's seen better fucking days. Not to mention he's a 130 pounder. Come on, bro. Yeah, he was waiting to counter Rolly and it happened. You know, he was waiting to counter Rolly and it happened. Rolly a beat Ryan. Rolly a beat Ryan. Yeah, I know, boxing student. He shot, bro. Like, I mean, I want to give Ryan credit. Like, maybe if he didn't talk so much trash before the fight, you know, he's played too many games. Look, salute the good fella Sports TV in the building. He says, y'all go subscribe to the good fella. He says Fortuna was shot. He came in for a check and lay down. Man, come on, bro. As soon as I went live last night, this first thing people were saying, dive, dive, dive. I didn't even have to say it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think Fortuna was going to do anything anyway. They pulled this dude up to 140 pounds. It was the Ryan Garcia show. It was supposed to be a showcase. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? It was simply a showcase. But anybody want to call in? There's the number right there, 213-474-7140. The PIN number is 6965. Call in and give your thoughts about this potential matchup. If this fight happens this year, this will be a good year. We still haven't got word on the Spence and Crawford, but if this fight happens, it'll be a good year. Yeah, he was out of shape, boxing student. He was out of shape. He was small, and I don't even think he's fought in a while, bro. And I think he's coming off a loss. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that was against that guy going into that fight. One would assume that he just went up there just for the check, bro. Hey, you ain't lying, Dave Skates all day. That's what I'm saying, bro. They giving him too many tailor-made opponents. Ryan Garcia is going to be that guy. That they just he's going to be fighting in these showcases, these tailor-made matchups and shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting these tailor-made type fights. I'm not really feeling it, bro. Like, I need to see him in there with somebody that's going to really make this kid think. Make him do something different. And to be honest, and I was talking early behind the scenes, I think Ryan Garcia might be one-dimensional. We don't know it yet because he hasn't fought nobody that can really bring out his true potential or what he can really do. But I think he's kind of one-dimensional. If he's not able to do what the same typical thing he does, he ain't gonna be able to do it. It's not like he has a really good jab either. He has a fast hands, but he don't use his jab. I think if Ryan Garcia uses his jab and use it in a variety of ways, he'll be a lot more effective. He'll be a problem. But he don't use his jab. You know, he likes to use the lead right hand. That's not gonna work against a guy that's, you know. And you're right, boxing student. He's too technically flawed to be Tank. He is. For everything he does well, there's also a negative right with it, right behind it. So, yeah, he got quick hands and shit, but he don't turn everything over. But he's a whipping shot guy. He's a whip shot. But it's always like a sequence, too. You know what I'm saying? Everything's like a sequence. Ah, 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 ah. Everything is just like there's no, there's no variation. There's no slowing up the speed, the tempo, none of that. It's all the same. A guy with some good IQ, a guy with some experience, a guy with good footwork. Come on, man. So he's really looking to. I think this Tank fight is a big cash out. Yeah, they never mentioned. No, he didn't mention Devin Haney at all. He didn't want to. He didn't want to mention him at all. Devin Haney was well in the building too. You know, Devin Haney also said, for those who don't know, that the Kambosos thing ain't official. That the Kambosos fight, is not definite. And they're weighing out their options and shit. I'm trying to see. Yeah, call in if you want to call in. Be about a quick minute or so. Give your thoughts on this matchup. He said Tank Ryan X not happening. I mean, hey, I'm not mad at you for believing that, bro. This is boxing. We've got kicked in the ball so many times when it comes to some of these fights. Hey, I'm not disagreeing with you, bro. If there's a lot of fans out there that don't believe it's not gonna happen, hey, I'm damn near with you because this is boxing, and for what we want, we don't never get, and we don't never expect to hear nothing good coming from Floyd Mayweather. And I love TBE, but when he dropped news, there's never nothing that we really care to hear or something that we be excited to hear about. Like it's always some bogus bad news. He just tell you what you want to hear. So I don't know, man. I hope this shit does happen though. Hey, that's a good question. Do you think Floyd and Oscar will let Tank and Ryan fight? I mean, it'd be just like them fighting again, I guess. I don't know. This would be a second fight for them. Oscar said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you back, Floyd, this time, but my fight is gonna beat your fight." So yeah, I don't know. Oscar said Tank is special. Jimmy Mindy says that will be a huge fight because Tank is the real big fish at PBC. Tank Davis is the draw over there, man. Tank Davis drew. He said A side is who has the belts. Yeah, neither guy really has any belts though. That's the thing. Neither guy really. Tank has the regular WBA belt, so yeah, I guess he would be the A side if we look at it like that. But this is that type of fight where these dudes gonna be sitting there saying, "Well, how many tickets they sold and shit like that." You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be that type of fight. How many tickets they sold? What have they done? Neither guy really. Tank Davis moved up a few weight classes, collected some regular belts. He ain't become the champion in any real weight class. And Ryan Garcia never had a belt at all. So this is what boxing is going to come to. These guys like this are going to kind of change the game a little bit to where the belts are going to start meaning less and less. Because he's coming out here telling you, I'm not going to be fighting for the legacy. I don't care about belts. Tank Davis, we heard him say that before, but then he turns around afterwards and says it's strap season. So these two guys, they're not going to really go in for the belts. I don't think Ryan wants to hop in the sanction belt system because of he'll have to fight some guys. He'll have to deal with the ranking system. He'll have to deal with this guy. He'll have to deal with that guy. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney got all the belts boxing student, and guess what? They all got the fuck up out of 135, bro. They all got up out of 135 because it just seems so convenient. Once Devin Haney gets that belt, let's get the fuck up out of here, bro. We don't really need to do this. You know what I'm saying? This is what these dudes be on in boxing. That's what these dudes be on in boxing. You said boxing is changing for the worse. Boxing's been up and down. I think more guys going for undisputed is a really good thing because now we know who's the man in these divisions. But I think things are gonna change. I think it's gonna go back to what it was again with shit like this. Guys like um, Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis hopping weight classes and shit, kind of doing what Floyd was doing. But Floyd kind of earned the right to kind of do that because Floyd put in the work first. He put in the work first. He became champion. He did this. He did that. He put in the work. But these dudes, Ryan Garcia ain't became a world champion yet, and he's talking about just power and influence. Power and influence. He see what Jake Paul is doing. Jake Paul is able to do what he's doing. So Ryan Garcia is like, shit, I could do it. I'm a real fighter. So yeah, man, boxing's gonna be different in the next 5 years. I think the belts ain't gonna mean as much. After we get this undisputed bug out of the way, I think after that, once these guys come up in here and see they can just hop in the sport and make a lot of money and shit, it's gonna change the game. It's gonna change the game. He said, AKA Oscar says Ryan Tank puts Ryan to sleep. Basically. Yeah, y'all hit that like button for your boy. Oh boy, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of tired, but talk some boxing. What else happened this week though? Um, besides Errol Spence getting called out by Orlando, nothing else really happened. Nothing else really happened. Oh, I'm hearing, man, I don't know. All right, but I'm just saying. I'm hearing now that the Crawford Spence fight is done. I'm hearing that it's done. All right, that's what I heard. I heard that it's done. I expect so. If that's the case, if that's really true, I don't know what I believe at this point. But if that's really true, I expect the announcement within like next week. Like next week, I expect the announcement for that fight next week. If this is true, I'm hearing that this thing is done. You know, so we go see. But other than that, man, um, Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, who's the A side. I got Tank as the A side. He's a proven pay per view draw. Um, he put more asses in seats. He he's a multi divisional champion, I guess, right, with the regular belts. Um, what else? I mean, he's a proven pay per view draw. Now Ryan Garcia may have more followers on Instagram and shit like that, right? Matter of fact, let me see. I think Ryan Garcia, he got a shit ton of followers on IG though. He got a shit ton. Yeah, he got a shit ton of followers. 8.9. Okay, that's pretty good. If you want to go by followers, Ryan Garcia has 8.9. Let's see what Tank got. 3.7. So Ryan Garcia got about 5,000. I mean, 5 million something more, 4 million something more followers than Tank on Instagram. But we know that doesn't translate to pay per view buys. Just because you got some followers, don't mean all the motherfuckers go buy your shit. You know, a lot of his followers are girls and shit, probably. You know, a lot of kids who ain't really got no money. So yeah, Tank Davis the ace in this fight. You're gonna see a lot of people as this fight starts to really pick up. If we really start to hear something, um, hear news about this fight, guys are gonna be saying that Ryan Garcia's the ace side. It's not true. And for proof from their last performances, as far as putting their asses in seats, Tank Davis beat him there as well. So yeah, Tank Davis the A side for this fight. Whether we talking about the numbers or what they've done in the sport of boxing, he's the A side of this fight. Now who wins the fight? I got Tank Davis winning the fight. Now we want to take away the biasness and really look at the fight and how these guys performed and what have you shown me lately type of scenario. Tank Davis, there's a lot of things he hasn't been doing in his fights. He kind of abandoned his jab. He kind of just waits for the counter shot. He's kind of waits for the big shot. That's what Tank Davis been doing with more recent fights. Um, Ryan Garcia, he kind of just walks forward. He'll throw a straight right hand, whip out the left hook. Then he'll maybe do a 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I think Tank Davis been in the more competitive, tougher fights. The Eastside Cruz was a tough, competitive fight. Gamboa was kind of competitive, or not competitive, but it was a little tough for him. I think Tank Davis is the more tested guy as well. Even though Ryan may have the more familiar names with like Luke Campbell on his resume, I think that Tank Davis just the fights itself. Tank Davis had to think in there a few times. You know, so he had to really think in there. He had to really um, he had to overcome adversity quite a few times. You know what I'm saying? So not maybe not nothing super significant adversity, but just you know, Ryan Garcia he's been having it relatively easy. Fortuna was there to be beat up on. Um, he made to go was actually supposed to go, but he didn't. You know, he went to 12 rounds with the dude, and yeah, you know that left a lot to be desired there. But he did look a lot better in this fight with Javier Fortuna. But there's not much I could take away from that fight as far as he did what he's supposed to do. I'm just sick of these type of fights. If I'm honest, you get up in there with these guys. Rolly made a fight for Tank, but they get up in there with these dudes who really just act like who really seem like they don't believe in themselves. They're not fighting like they're lads. They're fighting scared. They're not fighting back. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. They're not even sticking out their jab. They're not doing nothing. They act like they up in there fighting scared. Yeah, I noticed that. Even with Spence Ugas, Ugas just stopped fighting. With Terrell Gouchea, oh boy, Tim Tszyu. Terrell dropped him in the first round. Guess what he did after that? Nothing. He just stopped fighting. Like, come on, man. Oh, what's going on? Who we got? Who we got? Hey, what's good, man? What's going on, man? What are your thoughts on the topic? Who's the A side? Who wins the fight? Right. Mm. Hmm. See, I might need to go back and watch that shit again. I was tired. It was late. I might need to go back and watch it again. I didn't see too many jabs, but maybe I need to go back and watch it again. Go ahead. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Real nice. Right. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what, bro? Um, it might get made, but I'll say this because this is not a fight that they're going to wait too long for because Ryan's going to continue to get bigger and he may get better. Tank Davis, he's getting older. He's not really growing anymore. So they're going to want to hop on this fight now while this guy's 23 years old versus him being 25, 26, 27. You know what I'm saying? And Tank Davis is 33, 34. You know what I'm saying? So they likely would like to hop on this fight now this year. Now, will it happen this year? We'll be lucky as fans if that happens. A fight like this, somewhat of a big fight, we usually talk about these type of fights for years before they happen. Some may say Pedraza, bro. Some may say Pedraza. Hmm. Yeah, man. That was telling right there. He never even asked. Right. Yeah, thank you for the support. Thanks, man. Yeah, man. Thanks for the support, man. Thanks for calling in. Oh, all right, appreciate you. Yeah, first call in, man. That was interesting. Um I'm gonna have to figure out a better. I don't know if you guys even heard that. This is like a trial run, honestly, but I'm gonna figure out a better program to use to where I could know what the area code is and all that stuff. But yeah, man. I didn't really want to be too long today. I got some stuff to do. Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis, who's the A side. Ryan Garcia has 8.9 million followers, man. He'll probably have about 10 million or so, probably more by the time this fight does happen. Tank Davis has 3.7. If you want to go off the followers on Instagram. Now, if you want to talk about numbers, real numbers, who's the draw? Well, Tank Davis sold more pay-per-views. Ryan Garcia hasn't ever been on pay-per-view. Tank Davis puts asses in seats. Ryan Garcia does as well, but Tank Davis puts more. So yeah, as far as talking to the A side in this fight, Tank Davis is the A side. As far as who wins the fight, we're gonna have to really dig deep into that one. You know what I'm saying? See who really and break it down because my man who just called in gave a good. He had some good points, right? And I'm always objective to. I'm always open to people's opinions, and then I may take in their information. I may rethink my opinion. So that's why that's good. And yeah, Tank Davis gonna have to use his jab. We gonna really talk about this fight once we get some real um, rubber to the pavement, right? As far as this thing going, we gonna really talk about it and break it down. But yeah, I don't think as of right now I got Tank winning. Oh, you said you didn't hear nothing? Oh wow. Okay, no wonder. I wonder why nothing. Ah, yeah, because I heard it clearly out of my. Yeah, because I heard it clearly, but I guess it didn't work on you guys' end. I'm gonna have to figure that out, man. Yeah, but the call in did work, but I guess on you guys' end you didn't hear the conversation. So if you didn't hear, he basically was saying that Tank Davis is the A side, um, and that right the fight itself is 50-50. He says it's a 50-50 fight. He don't know who's gonna win, but it's a 50-50 fight. Ryan Garcia has a 70-inch reach. Tank Davis is shorter. He gave his thoughts on why it's a 50-50 fight. For those who didn't hear it, I need to figure this stuff out behind the scenes. But yeah, you guys, that's all I got. Oh, see, you didn't hear nothing either, huh? God damn it, bro. That was a good conversation we just had. No wonder people was dropping out. Next time that is something like that, have somebody leave a conversation, hey, we don't hear nothing. You know, shit. That was a good little conversation we had on there. I'm gonna have to figure all this stuff out um, behind the scenes. But yeah, man, I got Tank Davis as of right now winning this fight with Ryan Garcia. I got Tank Davis winning. Tank Davis could be losing the fight until he don't lose. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing with Tank. He could be losing. He could be down some rounds and all that shit, but he still finds a way to win a fight. So yeah, Tank Davis pretty clutch. He's pretty clutch. To a degree. He shows clutch tendencies. But neither guy has been in there with anybody that could really, where you on paper saying like, oh man, I don't know if he's gonna win this fight. But I think this is that fight. Like, subscribe, Hodge your boy. Peace out.